at uh, we're looking at a big recession coming, and it's a tough environment. The world order is changing. So the new situation calls for a new breed of businesses. Everybody's looking for businesses that are efficient, long-term sustainable, and value-driven. So I believe that female entrepreneurs have the qualities that are necessary to build these businesses, these kind of businesses. So they're efficient with money. They look at building long-term cultures and are value-driven. So just two or three messages for the entrepreneurs here. First is when you're building your company, build it on values. Always create an equation where you give more than you take. So as long as you're in that situation, you're safe. Because today's economy is suffering because of the piling debt, because everybody's spending more than they're earning, or spending or taking up more than what they're giving. So as long as you create a value equation that's tilted the other way, you're doing good. The second thing is walk the talk. So always take the stakeholders along, whether it's your team, whether it's your investors, whether it's your customers, always take them along your journey. So when you build a team, be open with criticism, be open with praise, just don't ignore the team. Be with them, take them along, because they have to be with you in the long haul. So having said all that, let me talk about the program itself. So we have 39 applicants that are competing for the finals. 39 applicants, as in there'll be 39 finalists from different chapters competing. So this competition will bring one winner from Dallas who will go to pitch at the global competition. The global competition is going to be at the TiE Global Summit this year in December. It was earlier supposed to be in Dubai in October, but that got moved, or the plan changed so that it's at a much bigger event in December in Hyderabad. And the program this also includes a virtual accelerator program. So you have 3 months of acceleration starting from August, September, October, and there'll be various speakers and workshops that will be conducted. This accelerator program is available for the finalist and the 2 runner-ups from each chapter. And the TiE Global Summit itself is going to be really big. There are 3,000 plus delegates expected, and it's one of the largest showcase events of TiE in the year. So this year's contestants and finalists are very lucky to be at this event because it's not just the $100,000 prize, but it's also all the exposure and the coaching, plus all the experience that they get mingling with this crowd. And before I conclude here, just a quick update on TiE Women. So this is the 3rd year of the TiE Women program, 2022. 2020 was the first year, and I was a finalist in 2020. Last year we had Veena Somareddy, and she was a finalist, and she went on to raise like a very big amount of money, and her company is doing great. So this year we have high expectations again from Dallas. And from a TiE perspective, we have so far 9 women entrepreneurs have received the grants. So across the 3 years, we have had 250 startups accelerated over the 3 years. So that being said, I'll hand it over to Dawn. Dawn, thank you for hosting us at your facility at such short notice. And thank you to all the judges who have kindly agreed to come. And with this, I'll hand it over to Dawn to continue and present the next piece. Thank you, everybody.
Everyone, thanks for being here. We're so pleased and proud to have your organization in the house. Where do you want me? There. Sorry. Yeah, so sorry. So I'm talking to the camera.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, right.
okay. Welcome, everyone. Hi, and this is Dawn. I am with the North Dallas Chamber of Commerce. I'm the Director of Development, so it's awesome that everyone's here. I bet hardly everyone has been in our office. We just moved in April. Our home office was destroyed in a tornado in October 2019, and then we had COVID. So we literally just been here a few months. So welcome. We are more than business. We are obviously networking, and we have a ton of great events coming up soon. So if you're in our market, please join the chamber and get in touch with me if you need any information. Look us up online at ndcc.org. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I would like to take this time to thank Tina for our TiE Women Dallas chair for her wonderful presentation and for helping us put this event together. I also would like to introduce the judges. And if you can, just do a little wave as I introduce you. First and foremost, I have Satish Polisetti. He is the general partner at Top Shelf Equity Partners. After that, I have Mike Skelton. He's the chairman at University of Texas at Dallas for Navy and Jindal School of Management. We also have here Rekha Acharya. She is an angel investor and senior director with Information Services Group. Right next to her, we have Susan Phillips, executive director for the U.S.-India Chamber of Commerce, DFW. And last but not least, we have Shahzad Manji. He is a filmmaker and founder and creative director for DHT Films. Thank you so much for your valuable time and your much needed feedback today. I'm just gonna go through and mention the names of the 4 pitches that we will be hearing today. The first one will be with Uma Iyer from BreadX. The next pitch will be from Kenyatta Forbes from Trading Races. Our third pitch will be from Hilary Pham from Equability. And our last pitch will be with Momita Sahu from Xyla. And I'm just going to review the rules really quick. So each contestant will have 10 minutes to pitch. At the 9-minute mark, I will be holding up this card, which will inform them that they have 1 minute remaining. After the time is up, we will do a 5-minute Q&A just between the contestant and the judges only. Again, at the 4-minute mark, I will hold up the 1-minute card. And then there will be 5 minutes of silence while the judges get to score individually. After each pitch, there will be after all 4 pitches, there will be a 15-minute break where not only the judges, but everyone who is participating today, as well as everyone who is here with us virtually, takes a little break. And right after that, our judges will go with Roshan to a conference room to deliberate on the winner together. During that time, or shortly right after when the judges arrive, Ram, our president, chapter president, will make a few remarks, and then Roshan will announce the winner. All right. The first person who is going to be presenting to us is Uma Iyer from BreadX. Uma, are you ready?
Yes. Can you hear me?
You can.
Yes, I will share my screen. Yes. Is this visible to everybody?
It is.
Okay. Hi, good morning. My name is Uma, and today I am going to be talking about my company called, it's called BreadX. How it started was, it was during the pandemic. It is one of those pivots. I had another business that closed down because of the pandemic. We again had a catering business that shut shop for some time. And during that time is when we started baking breads and getting people. At that time, people were looking for comfort. Nobody could travel. So this was our way of connecting people and getting them to travel. So over time, over the next 2 years, it's evolved and it's become what it is. So let's get straight to it. So people ask me when they look at BreadX, is it a bakery? Is it a delivery platform? Is it a world culinary experience or a meal prep company? And my answer to them is we are at the intersection of all of that. BreadX is a subscription-based bread delivery service. So we are both making our breads in-house, we're delivering it, and we own the customer experience. So all through, it is our baby in that sense. And what we are trying to do, it's a lofty mission, but we are trying to change the way America gets its bread. How we are doing, what we identify as the problems today is one, the bread, the quality of the bread that we eat here, it's changing definitely, but 80% of it is still the mass-produced grocery store bread. Or there are options where you go to the farmer's market and get artisanal breads. But again, there is a difficulty or accessibility issue, as well as the size of the market or size of the small bakers that they are able to address in terms of the radius. And then there is limited variety. There are just few breads off the shelf that you can get. And the fourth is, especially during COVID, we've got, or even before that, people are interested in experiences and not necessarily a product. So we are trying to bridge all those gaps. We're trying to get fresh artisanal breads delivered to people's homes. So it's convenience. The way our program subscription is structured, the flagship offering is called BreadX World, where each week we get you to travel the world through breads. So every month we have a different country that we travel to. And the fourth is, since, like I said, we own the entire spectrum, we own the customer experience, and we're trying to make it more than just eating bread. How is it, like I said, form a community of bread lovers and experiences culture and cuisines through breads. When we talk about industry, why would anybody get into a food-based business? So just a little bit of what activity is happening in the whole F&B, D2C, subscription, meal delivery space. There's a lot happening. When you look at investments happening, the D2C market is exploding. There are all kinds of things, food, fashion, where people are exploring the option of going directly to the customer. And so this is like where we look at what is the market that we're looking at to tap into. So just the US fresh bread market is $15 billion in 2022. And we're looking obviously at a subsection of that, people who have disposable income that are not looking for probably the cheapest bread out there, because our bread obviously is expensive. People who get food delivered to their homes, either through the platforms or any of the services directly through the restaurants or stuff like that. Then there are people who prefer or are aware or conscious about artisanal breads, local grains, and stuff like that. And fourth, who are open to the idea of food subscription, be it meal prep or direct to customer, where you get food delivered to you, like snack or food, any of that. And when we're talking about BreadX, the way it is right now, we are it's not shipped, our bread is not shipped, it's fresh, freshly made and delivered, so it's hand delivered. So we're looking at one market at a time. So we're looking at DFW right now. We've just scratched the surface, so we want to penetrate the market or exhaust the market and make it into a model. The idea is to then scale and replicate it in different markets. And probably we'll have a lot within Texas itself before we even think further. So this is what we are doing. So we have subscriptions. You pay on a monthly basis and you get your breads on a weekly basis. We have different subscription models depending on what the customer wanted. This was during the trial period that we understood our customers. So our flagship, like I said, is BreadX World, where you travel the world through breads. Delivery is on Saturday, so we get everybody together at the breakfast table, essentially. Next is called BreadX Essentials. It's midweek delivery. It's for your sandwich loaves. You can make sandwiches, pack lunches and stuff like that. So addressing that market and people who just want good, wholesome sandwich bread. And the third one, which is not yet launched, but in the works, is the sourdough and whole grains market, because there's a lot of awareness around that. And we want to make sourdough breads accessible to people. So that's the one coming up. There are other things that we've done a little bit of in terms of trial that we, what we've been doing essentially is trying to perfect the model, both in terms of kitchen operations, delivery, as well as customer experience. The other thing that we've tried to do a little bit of is how do we add on top of the subscription, which could make it a breakfast delivery instead of just breads. For example, we can add on, we've done that, we can add on granola, cookies, yogurt and stuff like that. So that I am jumping ahead. It will be in the second phase, as I may put it. So this is our business model. Like I said, we own end-to-end the product, logistics, as well as the customer experience. So we have full control. We're not dependent on a distributor or somebody, some middleman, and not wholesaling. So our margins are better in that sense. It's a subscription auto-renew. There's calendar of breads. So there's zero inventory, zero wastage, and there's a central kitchen, and then the delivery happens from there. And then, like I said, there's an opportunity to upsell. This is where we are. Like I said, we started during the pandemic, and over time we've gotten here. We relaunched and restarted this earlier this year in March. And right now we're looking at perfecting the model. This is where we are for the past 4 months. It looks like a small customer base, but if you see, they've stuck on. So when people get on and get the taste of the model, they stick on. The retention rate is very good. And we're right now, the coverage is just 25 zip codes, but obviously we need to, get deeper into each of those and then expand as well. And the customer feedback has been great. This is our customer. So, we also have mapped where is it that we can get them. And these are the ways that we're looking at spreading the word and getting more business or getting more customers to sign up. Right now, this is the team. So I'm the founder and CEO, and then I have split it into the kitchen operations and the delivery or the logistics side of things. So Neil is a baker and he takes care of kitchen. He has bakers under him. And Maya takes care of packaging and delivery and customer experience. This is roughly what are we looking at in terms of the next phase. A minimum of 400.
That's time.
Okay. And yeah, that's about it. And I'm open to questions.
Uma, thank you so much.
All right. 5 minutes.
I have a question about excuse me. Hi, I'm Mike Skelton. I have a question about scalability of your operations. I saw that you spent $50,000 for equipment. How big of a market can you sustain with that type of investment in equipment?
So right now we are operating out of a commercial kitchen. Even there, we are right now servicing about 50 odd customers. We can easily take it up to 300 in the current kitchen itself. But if we expand beyond that, we would like to have our own kitchen. And that, I think the way we've projected it, we should be, maybe we'll split it into multiple days, but we should be able to target about 1,000 customers. So that would be our target in that sense.
Uma, can you do me a favor and just stop sharing your screen?
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
This is Satish. So last mile delivery is always a problem for whether it's UPS, Amazon, even Grubhub, etc. So how do you said we will handle the last mile delivery? How are you? I mean, are you going to deliver to the pockets of the areas like airports, embassy suites, something like that, or does it go to the homes as well?
Okay. So the way it is right now, with 50 and maybe even till 300, there's a central kitchen, and we have delivery routes, and the delivery drivers come and go through their routes. Our commitment is that people get their bread before noon. That also works for us because it's less traffic early in the morning, and these drivers are freer in the morning. They don't have anything, so it becomes like an extra source of income because of where we are. The other thing that we're looking at is trying to get to a hub and spoke model where you have like pickup points for drivers. So we get to say we are not right now in Fort Worth, but if we could get to open that up and have say 50 or 100 customer base there, we send out initial breads, and then from the distribution center or whatever you might call it, and then they go further into each of these delivery addresses.
Thank you.
So, hi, I'm Susan Phillips.
Yeah.
So currently, the packages that you have 40, 30, and 50, I believe. How many loaves or what's the servings in each of those?
Yes. So right now the serving size is for we say a family of 4. So, and we've had requests where people are just husband and wife, and I'm looking at other meal prep companies as well. So I want to get to a point where you can either do half size. Obviously, people can do multiples, but right now we do not have the ability to do halves. But I would like to get to a point where you choose your family size, and then the bread is either a multiple of that or a factor of a fraction of that.
So in other words, for instance, the $30 one, you get 1 loaf per week. Is that kind of what you're looking at? Okay.
Yes.
I had a question. I'm Rekha. In fact, I have 2 questions. So the first one is like, the first one is like, I mean, the bread market is very huge. Like you rightly said, it's a huge consumer market. You're not necessarily targeting the ones who are going to the grocery store and buying the bread from there. Then the mid-segment market is the one which typically like people like us who just go from a Panera or a Sprouts and we take there because we want some nutrition in the bread. And then you're taking the higher end. The higher end market, they necessarily do not go and even go to the Panera. They probably have their own chefs doing it. So your consumer market, I'm understanding, is only the mid-segment market. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So how are you exactly differentiating? Why should I, like she mentioned, like, okay, there's one loaf for $30. I mean, how are you differentiating? Is it just the accessibility point that I'll get it at my home? Is that the differentiation point?
So that is definitely one. The other is also the variety. You would typically not get those loaves in the market. So for example, the kind of loaves that we're doing, are sprouted quinoa bread, multi-grain, multi-seed, uh, rice, spelt. So those are, right now the model is that these are the four breads and then you take it. But I want to hopefully get to a point where you can pick and choose, because there are some people who just want white bread, white loaf, some people who want healthier breads. But right now, they can pause when they don't like a particular bread, but they cannot choose in the current model.
That's time.
Uma, thank you so much. You had me at bread. For our next pitch, will be yes, sorry.
Ask them if they're ready.
Yeah.
No, they're because they are still
Oh,
scoring.
right, they're scoring.
So ask them if they can use the tool to
Yes.
score.
So we're going to take 5 minutes before we go to Kenyatta for judging, for the judges to score. Until then, Kenyatta, if you'd like, you could set up and share your screen.
Sonia, just making sure you can see my screen.
We can also hear you well.
Perfect.
1 minute remaining for the judges. Kenyatta, just so you know, it says you're sharing your screen, but we can't see anything on our side.
Okay. I had this trouble before. Let me switch in this system. See if I can do this again. Chrome tab. Audience window. Okay. Can you see the screen now?
No, we're still having issues. Perhaps I'm not a Zoom expert. Perhaps sharing desktop. I don't know how it works.
I think right now it has me on Spotlight. I'm going to remove that because I think that it's forcing it to be on me and not on the presentation.
Okay.
So I'm going to try that.
We can see that you've started screen sharing, but there's nothing seen on your screen.
Okay. I know what I'm going to have to do.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. And then
Whenever you're ready, we'll start the clock.
okay. Sorry about that. No idea what happened. Okay. If you had to answer who's blacker, Rachel Dolezal or Omarosa, who would you choose? My name is Kenyatta Forbes, and I created a playing card game that asks players to answer just that. Simplicity is the mark of a truly great game design, and Trading Races really delivers on that.
Trading Races is a pretty simple game. There's 52 cards in a deck, and each player gets 5 cards. The deck is made up of all kinds of notable Black figures like Nelson Mandela and Maya Angelou, with some conversation starters mixed in, like Justin Bieber and Rachel Dolezal. If you can convince everyone the person on your card is the blackest, you win the hand. Win enough hands, and you win the game.
As you can see, Trading Races is a card game that's part party game and part educational, but it's 100% thought-provoking. It teaches Black history and culture while diving into the malleability of race and unconscious bias with a little bit of a dose of humor. Although only 4 years young, Trading Races has managed to garner the attention of major influencers like HBO Vice News, Essence Magazine, and NPR's Code Switch, to name a few. This fun card game has engaged thousands of players around the world at family parties, corporate retreats, and of course, classrooms. I created Trading Races when I was a Chicago Public Schools teacher. During my 10 years of teaching Black and Brown students on the South Side of Chicago, I noticed a lack of student interest in Black history, as well as an absence of Black history within the school's curriculum. I was determined to figure out a way to fix this. I'd used gamification before in my classroom and really understood how powerful of a tool it could be. So I got to work, and I saw how engaged my students became. They truly were invested in Black history and wanted to learn more about each person featured in the game. With that being said, I'd launched my prototypes, played with my students, started my Kickstarter, and in 2017, it was funded. And while testing the game with my friends and family, I quickly found out how intergenerational Trading Races really is. It cultivates amazing discussions and debates for all age groups. At one point, we have a grandmother arguing for Jimi Hendrix and a grandson arguing for Jay-Z. And it even got to the point where my family and friends would not let me come unless I brought the prototype with me too. And this led to hours of entertainment and fun, but don't just take my word for it.
No, because at least they got hands.
Trading races is for everyone, and I'm a strong believer that learning and growth happen in uncomfortable spaces. We believe that you truly see someone when you understand and also know their story.
Can white people play this game? Is that it's not uncomfortable at all?
It's supposed to be uncomfortable though.
Clarence Thomas has been around for fucking ever, and he's actually helped lead the civil rights movement, just like with what he's done, like through television and everything of that sense. Like it's. I think we're on first round of that.
Although Brad was thinking about the wrong person, he definitely learned something that day. Because all of this learning and education can happen through gameplay. The playing card industry generated $13 billion in 2019 and is on track to reach $21 billion by 2025. The reality is this: people love playing games, and less than 1% of those games today tackle race. Trading Races is uniquely positioned over its competitors in that Trading Races has a high replayability. No game will ever be the same, as players' cultural knowledge and the context of the individuals change over time. And retailing at $24.99, Trading Races generates a 76% profit from each deck sold. Our product line includes a starter deck and currently 3 expansion packs. And we also offer educational facilitation guides for DEI instructors, high school educators, and college educators, in addition to our workshops. To date, we've sold over 2,000 starter decks and over 600 expansion packs. We generate our revenue with 5 main streams: our website, Amazon, our paid workshops, our retailers, and of course, markets and festivals. And coming soon, we'll be launching our ambassador program as well. And every year, we've been able to maintain a minimum growth of 10% year over year in revenue with those 5 main avenues. We've developed really strong partnerships with brands like Instagram for Business, which have continued to support company development through mentorship, networking, and resources. We're excited to embark on our next partnership with Pro Bono for Small Business by Target next month, who will be joined by a marketing agency called Social Deviant in the creation and execution of a marketing strategy for Trading Races. And as a current Google for Education pilot program manager, I deeply understand how to implement go-to-market strategies to ensure that we continue to reach our target audience by continuing to grow our product line with our expansion packs that keep our customers coming back time and time again. And as we think about the future, if the pandemic has taught us anything, is that we need to reach our target audience online. We need to develop an app and a web version of the game, allowing us to expand into new markets. Additionally, we need support in developing our market strategies for our 4 distinct audiences. So we want to develop a platform for our educator communities to share resources and impact. And we also would love an avenue to continue to develop our corporate and our HR-focused versions of the game to support organizations who are combating unconscious bias. And of course, don't think I forgot about this initial question. Who did you choose? Was it Rachel or was it Omarosa? But just remember that the rules are simple, but the discussions won't be. Thank you so much for your time.
We'll now start 5 minutes for the Q&A.
I'll go first. So it looks like the game is already developed. So first question is scalability point of view. Why only this race? Can this be expanded to any other cultures or race?
Yeah, I love that question. Absolutely. I've been approached to actually do collaborations with this game. So not just for Black culture, but for Latinx culture. I've even had somebody say, you should make a Jewish version of this game. This would be great. So I'm incredibly open to collaborating and supporting other versions of this game. You know, coming from an educational background, I thrive and I want to encourage others to learn and dive deeply into cultures and history. So I would wholeheartedly embrace doing something like that.
The second question, if you don't mind. So where would you spend, if you get, what's your main, where are you burning money?
Say it one more time because you broke up in the beginning.
So looks like the game is already developed, right? So are you spending more on marketing or like building more strategies, or where is the money going?
Yeah, definitely right now the focus is more on marketing. The foundation for the business is really set. I am a one-person team, but I've been very strategic in making sure that my operations costs are very low, and that I'm able to kind of scale even as a one-person team. So I have a very strong distributor, I have a very strong relationship with my designers. So everything is very automated in the background, so I can really focus on the creative aspect and the scalability. So with that being said, marketing and go-to-market strategies are really what I'm focused on right now. And that's why I'm really excited about this partnership coming up with Target, where we'll be able to dive into creating a marketing strategy and then executing that with Social Deviant, which is the marketing agency I'll be working with.
Thank you.
Hello there, I'm Mike Skelton. I have a question about when you were doing your market analysis, putting this together, did you do focus groups with different age groups and different races? Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was a very interesting experience. I think most people come into this space, especially when you're talking about something so delicate as race, very uncomfortable. So I did a lot of play testing. One of the first play tests I actually did was with the writer's room of Cards Against Humanity, who was very diverse. And so I got a lot of initial great feedback from that team. The initial game or prototype was very, have no other word to use, but very Black. And in that first conversation with the writers team, I realized I needed to diversify because there's a lot of nuance in race. And so that's why there's not just Black figures. You have people like Justin Timberlake who might be in the deck, right? So there's this range from those focus groups that I got from the social playing side. And then as an educator, I had access to my students. So they were my guinea pigs, if you will, to be able to help me test through to see what I needed to do to leverage their understanding. And that's where the facilitation guides came into place for the educators. So I quickly realized that I could have this game, but I also needed to support the educators who are going to be using it with the game as well.
Thank you very much.
Kenyatta, this is Shazad. So not a question, really a comment. So as a third generation filmmaker, I appreciated having the video because that in seconds did an awesome job explaining what it is that you set out to do. I also love the origin story. So to see that started in the classroom. And the last comment I'd make is what really stood out to me in the entire presentation is where you said no game will ever be the same. I think that really shows the expansiveness of the opportunity. So well done all around.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Very quickly, hi, Kenyatta. Wonderful job. I love your product. I just have a quick question for you regarding, the current climate of our society right now. This is very, very much needed, but you're going to face pushback because of critical race theory.
Yep.
So, that whole movement, right? So how are you addressing that?
That's a great question. And so for me, right now what we're doing in the background, so I'm currently working with an equity, well, actually she's DEI, but her main focus is equity. And we're in the process of actually developing our DEI facilitation guide. And part of that is wrapped around addressing this CRT kind of apprehension, I'm gonna say. So we know it's there. We know it's an easy way to kind of escape the conversation. And so what we've done in terms of framing how to use trading races in parallel to kind of a CRT pushback is that we really see this game as an opportunity, right? We're not saying that, your beliefs or what you think about CRT is incorrect. but this may be an opportunity for you to explore other things that may be happening outside of that belief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Continuation from Mike's question. So you did test it in an inclusive environment, but did you test it with people from other races, and what was the feedback? Were you able to incorporate them in your product?
Yeah, immediately.
Real quick. If you just take a quick answer, that's time. Please feel free.
Okay. Okay, I'll do it very, very quickly. Yes, all of the feedback was incorporated. So initially we had that initial prototype, it was all Black figures. And from that, I realized there was not enough nuance in the conversation. So I started to change and shift and bring in more people who are not Black or people of non-color to diversify the deck. And that way we could actually have conversations about appropriation that may come into place, right? And so it opened up a larger conversation. So I definitely always incorporated feedback from any of the users or any of the people who play the game.
Thank you so much.
Kenyatta, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing something so educational and really fun, honestly. Our next pitch is we're going to take 5 minutes for the judges to score, and we're going to be setting up our next pitch. Till then, Hillary, can you come on camera and then share your presentation?
Yes, give me 1 second. Can everyone see my screen?
We cannot.
Okay.
Maybe it is the spotlight. I'm gonna remove you off spotlight. 1 second. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we can see your screen.
Perfect.
Oh, 1 minute for the judges. Go ahead.
All right, next up we have for our third pitch, Hillary Pham from Equability. And Hillary, just unmute yourself if you can.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect, thank you so much. You ready?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Hillary Pham, and I'm the founder of Equability. I'd like to start by introducing Cluton Nunes, the Brazilian Paralympian. When he was 29, he got into a motorcycle accident and needed to have both his legs amputated. After recovering, dressing and buying clothes became a lot more challenging. He tried buying adaptive clothes, but the selection was limited, the clothes were ugly, and made him feel like he was still wearing hospital apparel. Instead, he now usually wears athletic clothes, since they are easier to wear, but sometimes make him stand out. And Cluton isn't alone. From our survey, 90% of people said they didn't buy clothes because it'd be too hard to wear, and at least half asked someone for help while dressing every day. We also found 2 studies from the University of Missouri that link a lack of clothes to social and professional barriers. Half of the respondents avoided major life events like weddings, funerals, job interviews, graduations because of clothes. In one interview, a woman shared she missed her best friend's wedding because she couldn't find clothes that would accommodate her disability. The researchers found a negative loop between the lack of appropriate clothes, people feeling less independent, less self-confident, and reluctant to ask for help. And this all resulted in people avoiding major life events altogether and creating barriers in their lives because of clothes. And this issue isn't new at all. Adaptive clothing just means clothes modified in some way for people with different abilities. In 2022, the global adaptive clothing market is estimated to be worth $315 billion with a B dollars, and the US makes up about $50 billion. The CDC estimates there are 64 million Americans with a disability, and 3 million of whom are children. Within our target market, we're focused on people who struggle with clothes. This includes people with dexterity issues like carpal tunnel or arthritis. People with mobility issues who, for example, if they use a wheelchair, the wheels can rub against the bottom of jackets and the sides of pants, which can ruin clothes. For those with a muscular or neuromuscular disorder, like a stroke or a disease like ALS, they can have symptoms like muscle weakness or nerve damage that make movements really hard. There are 16 million Americans with sensory issues like sensory processing disorder or autism, and they're often overstimulated easily by sounds or textures against their skin. And there are 2 million people who struggle with daily self-care tasks, such as dressing and bathing, like people with dementia. There are also groups like kids who struggle with dexterity and would also fall into our target market. This list is not inclusive and is constantly growing to make room for more people. But after learning about these problems, Equability began because we want to build an inclusive world where everyone can wear what they want. Equability is a clothing modification service that focuses on the challenging functional features of clothes like buttons or zippers. We do not change the design or size of the clothes at all, and we modify using technology like Velcro, magnets, and snap buttons. Here's a video of our magnetic modification. Our goal is for the clothes to look the same as something you could buy from a retail store, but be adapted to help the individual. This is a picture of our magnetic modification. It's by far the easiest for people with dexterity issues to use, and we developed a process that sews on top of the existing seams so that it does not show and is not easy to tell that it has been adapted. For people with pacemakers or those who aren't comfortable washing magnets in their machines, our Velcro modification is a great option. And for someone who wants a more secure closure, or for kids who are more familiar with snap button technology, we offer that as well. Our services are performed using proprietary processes developed by my business partner, Maya Esper. Equability has 2 revenue streams. On the B2C side, customers would send their clothes to us, we'd modify them and send them back. As of June, we've established partnerships with groups like the Circle of Friends Adult Day Center in Champaign, Illinois. They will serve as local pickup and drop-off spots for the community. This allows us to save on shipping costs, pass those savings to our customers, and donate 5% of proceeds to our partner facilities. On the B2B side, customers would buy from the retailer, the company would send it to us, and we would ship the item back for in-store pickup or to the customer directly. To order modifications, customers would go on our website and choose from a drop-down menu of materials, then decide which feature to change. Our long-term goal is to become embedded within the existing checkout processes of retailers. We want to be a third shipping option and offer a seamless buying experience. Since our service is standardized, it requires far less training than tailoring and make our operations scalable. In the competitive environment, there are retailers that offer adaptive options, or that don't offer adaptive options, but have a wide variety of clothes, such as Gap or Banana Republic. There are some retailers with limited adaptive selections, but they're very expensive. And there are adaptive clothing companies, but they focus mainly on function, not fashion, and are still very expensive. The main issue left out is social integration. People with disabilities have to shop in limited sections and are still being treated as other. Ecobillity offers variety, accessible options, and creates a seamless buying experience, so no one has to be burdened or excluded because of their abilities. Because of this, we are uniquely positioned for our B2B contracts. Retailers like Zara or H&M, who have perfected their logistics, they probably won't develop their own adaptive lines, but they're missing out on this huge $315 billion market. By using Ecobillity, we take away that barrier to entry and offer a convenient third-party option to validate the adaptive market. Our go-to-market strategy focuses on the B2C market in the first 2 years. This period will help us prove that our service is profitable, scalable, and provides a strong foundation from which to negotiate B2B contracts in the future. For each modification, we earn a 30% margin with our shipping orders and a 40% margin with our drop-off orders. Using that model, we've projected a break-even point at 650 modifications, and we should reach that by the end of year 1. To reach our customers, our plan has been to establish relationships with trusted local groups and engage online leaders using social media. We focused on people like para-athletes, Paralympians, disability advocates, parenting blogs, and we sponsor reviews and posts of our service. This is a post by a disability advocate named Molly. She runs a blog and Instagram page called All Fashion Able. She doesn't let her disability limit her style, and we thought she was perfect for our campaign. She posted pictures of her modified shirt and videos with her thoughts of the entire process. Those live on our Instagram page as highlights. We plan to build our brand awareness by continuing both these in-person and online methods. To reach our projections, we're currently focused on prototyping our pant modification, expanding our shirt services, and creating more marketing campaigns. We've created milestones with goals for ourselves to expand our drop-off partnerships, establish contracts with local boutiques and larger clothing retailers, and scaling up our nationwide services. In 3 to 5 years, I would love to set up a brick and mortar location so we can offer more individualized services and meet more of the clothing needs of our customers. We've identified KPIs that will help us fulfill our orders while focusing on service and sales. Since our mission centers around convenience, we want to make sure our orders don't take more than 4 weeks. We'll also track how efficiently we're filling our weekly capacity in order to grow and keep up with demand. To improve our sales, we want to better understand the modifications customers want and try to incentivize larger orders in order to save on shipping costs. We also measure industry standards like conversion rate and site traffic, but these 4 are the most important to our values and our strategy. Right now, the team consists of myself and Maia Esper. I have a master's in information management, and I use my system skills to conduct interviews, manage the company, and understand user needs. Maia has a BFA with a concentration in fashion. She has experience working in retail operations and has designed her own clothing collections. She is the creative engine behind Ecobillity. She brings the user feedback we receive to life and continues to develop and build our proprietary processes. We're actively looking for partners who are passionate about our mission and have experience with operations or marketing experience. We appreciate any advice and mentoring and are looking for $30,000 to expand our operations. I'd like to end with our mission, which is change clothes so people don't have to. We want to modify clothes, so no one has to change their lifestyle or clothing style because of their abilities. Thank you.
Hillary, thank you so much. I'm gonna have 5 minutes right now for a Q&A with the judges. Any questions? Yeah. Go ahead.
So first of all, I mean, it's a very good initiative, definitely, that somehow I was not even aware because that this was a need, because if you go to Amazon, there are already disability clothes and everything was already available. You could just Google search for clothes, and typically people whom I know are disabled, they generally have their own whatever they do, alteration shop or a tailor who mends the sizes, everything to the way they want, like you said, Velcro and all of that, right? So how much of why did you think that, okay, we need to get into this, considering that, okay, people have already a way to go. They already have an Amazon, people who are there is an Amazon where clothing are available for disabled people. And there is also an alteration shops who do this. So what is it that triggered that?
Sure, absolutely. So I think, first of all, touching on tailoring alteration shops, a lot of people, one, if they have mobility disabilities, going to a shop is really difficult. Changing from someone who doesn't understand their needs is really difficult. And tailors will change the size of clothes. If they need smaller pants, absolutely. But often tailors don't really understand what they need. If they can size down a shirt with buttons, they're still struggling with the buttons. So I think there are ways to standardize their needs that tailors just simply can't meet. So there are limitations to using tailors. We also found, online, there are some retailers that do offer adaptive clothes. Tommy Hilfiger offers some clothes. There are smaller boutiques that sell button-down shirts and slacks with magnets embedded. But there are a lot of people who have been aging slowly. My mom, she is an accountant by trade. She's getting on, she has arthritis. She has a closet full of clothes. My mom lives in a linen button-down shirt the entire summer. She has one in 5 different colors. She has 3 brown shirts. So she has a closet full of her favorite clothes that now it's really hard to wear every day. So for those people who have an emotional attachment to their clothes, or they've been shopping at Gap their entire life, that's the shirt that fits them properly. They have favorite retailers as well. And if those retailers don't offer adaptive options, then what will they do? So I think this, even though there are other options available, it's about offering more options that work with their fashion styles already and with the clothes that they already have in their closets. So I think it's a different mentality to approaching this market.
Hillary, if I can, this is Shazad. Your long-term goal, I heard some interesting things, but can you expand on that? It was something about tying into the existing ecosystem. Can you expand on that?
Sure. So I think in the next 3 to 5 years, we really want to focus on expanding the services that we offer. So right now, the only thing that we have live is button-down shirt modifications. We are almost at the end of our pant modifications, so offering that. We want to offer full suit services for people with wheelchairs, especially, their jackets are too long and they brush up against their wheels, they get really dirty very quickly. So we want to offer things that are standardized, like hemming of buttons. We want to offer some pant hemming as well. So I think that's the ecosystem of just the services that we would offer, but also building out our drop-off partnerships and expanding where we're located. So the biggest cost that we have is honestly shipping. Two-way shipping is very expensive. And so what we found is that if we do reach out to local associations and therapy centers, they are willing to offer pickup and drop-off services. That way, people will go to a location they trust, they know the people already, they'll drop off clothes, and then we will simply partner with them and pick up the clothes and save on those shipping costs. So I think there's an ecosystem of those partnerships that we'd like to expand and build.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hillary, this is Satish. Can you tell us why you started this?
Sure. It happened really spontaneously. In January 2020, I went to Brazil with my undergrad program. It was a 10-day competition all about people with disabilities. So I was put on a team with 6 different people from Hong Kong, Germany, Brazil, and we spent the first 5 days visiting hospitals, therapy centers, talking to people who have disabilities, trying to understand their needs. So I think that was really valuable. And one of the first people that really mentioned clothes was Cluton Nunez. I showed him earlier in my presentation, where he said, he talked about the sidewalks, he talked about, I can't do this, I can't shower alone. But then at the very end, he said, my favorite outfit was a t-shirt and jeans, I can't wear that anymore. And I kind of went, oh, why? So for people who have mobility issues, sitting in a chair with jeans all day is really difficult. They'll slip down. They don't really feel that they slip down either. So it's really about connecting to who they were before, being able to wear more familiar outfits. And that thought just made me really sad. So I decided to start a business about it.
Thank you.
Hillary, thank you so much for solving this need that some of us didn't even know existed. So we really appreciate your time today. At this time, the judges will take 5 minutes to score. In those 5 minutes, can I have Monica come on video and share her screen? Thank you so much.
Are you all able to see my screen?
Yes, thank you.
Trying to see how I can get the gallery on the side. Hey, Sonia, is this okay, or is it going over my presentation?
No, we can see it fine.
Okay, there's nothing covering the screen.
I don't see anything covering the screen.
Okay.
Oh, you mean the blue dot?
No, I'm trying to get the Zoom gallery so I can see you all on the side instead of just my presentation. But I'm worried that I'm blocking the presentation.
Oh, we will spotlight.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Okay. Just a minute for the judges. Is everyone ready? Oh, yeah, let's get started then.
All right, for our last pitch, can I have everyone's attention? Thank you so much. For our last pitch, we're gonna have Momita Sahu from Zyla. Momita, are you ready?
Yes, ready. Although I don't think, am I spotlighted?
You are
You
spotlighted.
are.
Okay, awesome. I'm just gonna decrease my, okay. Everyone can see my screen? Can everyone see my screen?
Sorry. Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. I would love to introduce Zyla, a fun and effective Ayurvedic skincare brand. My name is Momita, and I'm the founder and CEO, and my story starts in my childhood. Growing up, I struggled with a lot of colorism in the South Asian community and was really insecure about my darker skin tone. I also struggled with acne, hyperpigmentation, and extremely dry skin. Because of all of my insecurities, I turned to really unsafe products like bleaching cream, like you see here, that led to a lot of skin damage and scarred my skin for years to come. It took some growing up and a lot of confidence building, but eventually I discovered the power of Ayurveda and used natural Indian recipes to heal my skin. One day I was traveling with Multani Mitti. It's an Indian clay mask that you find at the grocery store. And I tried to take it with me in my hotel room, but it just made a mess everywhere because it's a powder. So I started thinking about how can we actually expand and make a modern Ayurvedic skincare brand that's not just found in Indian grocery stores, but also in Sephora. The problem with the beauty industry is that South Asian women don't feel represented. When we shop for skincare products or makeup products, we never really see people with our skin tones and our skin concerns. So it's really, we feel like excluded, we don't feel represented, and it's hard for us to shop because of that. Women with deep complexions also feel the need to lighten their skin to comply with beauty standards, often using really unsafe products to bleach their skin like I did. And this is because brands in the beauty industry are still not having inclusive marketing. They're not showing models with darker skin tone. They're always promoting this need to kind of lighten your skin and feel like you need to fit in with everyone else. And lastly, India's holistic wellness system of Ayurveda is not appropriately represented in beauty. A lot of these brands are just hopping on the Ayurveda trend and they're completely whitewashing it. They're not paying homage to our culture and our tradition and the science behind Ayurveda. So the solution is Zyla, a skin-positive brand that fuses Ayurvedic botanicals with clinically proven actives. Zyla is inclusive of all skin types and tones. We really make sure to show this in all of our marketing and on our website. And we always emphasize skin health over unattainable beauty standards. So we never promise you're gonna fix your acne overnight. We always promise that we wanna work with you on your skin health for the long term. Of course, Zyla is also rooted in Indian culture and backed by science. We talk a lot about this on our TikTok and social media and do a lot of education on Ayurveda. And we cater to a younger demographic who is women who are out of college, so about 23 to 33, and our price points reflect that. Our product lineup includes our bestseller Sky Jelly Serum, which is a multitasking gel elixir to soften and repair, and it has amla and tulsi and licorice root to heal acne and for anti-aging. Our Silk Smoothie Moisturizer is $42 and is a unique gel cushion moisturizer with a satin finish, enhanced with Ayurvedic botanicals like reishi, ginseng, and sandalwood to keep your skin moisturized all day. And lastly, our Himalayan Halo Brightening Oil is a luxurious facial oil enhanced with vitamin C and other nourishing botanical extracts. All of our products include these Ayurvedic adaptogens that have been used in Indian holistic wellness for thousands of years. And a really big focus point for us is our sensorial experiences. So for example, our Himalayan Halo brightening oil smells like jasmine, and our Silk Smoothie cream smells like rose with hints of sandalwood and cardamom. So South Asian women who buy my products just love it. They feel like this is a brand I can relate to. This is so nostalgic for me, and it reminds me of my childhood. And they don't get that with any other brand that you find in Sephora or Ulta. We also source our ingredients ethically. We partner with women's co-ops whenever possible, and all of our products are, of course, vegan, cruelty-free, fragrance-free, and made in small batches here in the US. We like to message our products as clean clinical. There is a lot of fear mongering right now in the beauty industry where brands are basically just trying to scare consumers into thinking you only need to use 100% natural products. And that's really not true. There are so many products that can be ingredients that can be made in a lab that are often more sustainable and more safe for your skin. So for example, harvesting thousands and thousands of rose petals, real rose petals to make a rose essential oil is a lot less sustainable than having a lab created rose essential oil. So we always focus on efficacy, sustainability, and whatever is safest for the skin. These are some before and after pictures from our real customers. You can see on the left, this customer had a lot of acne and scarring, and she used our Sky Jelly serum to heal this. And the customer on the right used all 3 of our products to get her glowing skin. We make money on ZaylaSkin.com, so we sell direct to consumer exclusively right now. We've only been in business for 4 months right now, and we've done $22,000 in revenue. We also have really healthy margins. We have 8x our cost of goods sold as our margin, so we're really happy with that. And our average order value is $79. Our year 1 projected revenue is $100,000, and we should be profitable by 1.5 years. We see the addressable market as somewhere between $2 billion and $8 billion US dollars. I say this because the US skincare market is $20 billion, but the $40 to $50 price range, which is what we are, is about $8 billion. And there is, of course, there's an overlap with the US Ayurveda market, which is $2 billion. However, we have a lot of customers who've never heard of Ayurveda, who are not South Asian or Indian, who also use our products just because they love skincare. And so we see the addressable market being closer to that $8 billion number. There is some competition in this space, and that includes Rani, Ranavat, and Sahajan. These are a lot more expensive. Their price points are from $70 to $135, so really out of our target consumers' price range. So they have a lot more mature target audience, and their positioning is a little bit more luxe, more sophisticated, and they don't focus on the sensorial and fun aspect of skincare like we do. In the past few months, we've gained a lot of traction. We have 6,000 followers on TikTok, 4,000 followers on Instagram, and we have even achieved some virality. So these are some TikToks I made that did pretty well, over 100,000 views, 17,000 likes, and I was also featured in Pop Sugar as one of the 26 South Asian owned brands taking over the beauty world. These are just a few of our community members who've been posting for us online, completely unpaid. They just genuinely love our brand and talk about it on their social media and have become brand ambassadors. So their audience really loves them. They know that they're not getting paid to post these, and they know that they're really big fans of the brand.
Absolutely genuine in telling you that this organic, all-natural Ayurvedic skincare line is by far one of the best out there. I've followed it from start to finish, and I'm so excited of what she's came up with.
That's one of our customers who posted for us just on her own goodwill, and it generated a lot of sales for us. And since then, we have been also collecting a lot of 5-star reviews on our website. People always say they love the cooling sensation, they love the textures, they love the scents, and they just love what it does for their skin. So we're really happy with that. Our marketing funnel starts at the discover stage, where we share our brand story and ethos on social media. And we also share this with all of the content creators that we partner with. To give a more personalized experience and engage with our audience, we do a lot of email and SMS marketing, as well as educational content on TikTok and Instagram. We have a really strong founder to community connection. So I personally get on there, I go on Instagram stories, I do a lot of our TikToks. I'm always showing up just because people love to see the behind the scenes of building this. They like to see that a South Asian woman is actually creating skincare for them, and it's not just another L'Oreal or another Aloe Yoga trying to capitalize on Ayurveda. And lastly, our purchase journey involves people looking at our customer reviews, our before and afters on the website. And we also have a really detailed ingredient library where you can go and see what each ingredient does for your skin and the science behind it. And I also provide a really highly engaging customer service. So people will DM me, they'll email me and send me pictures of their skin, and I always give them really detailed response. And that is what leads them to purchase. Our operational plan for this year includes releasing 3 new products for 2023. Something amazing we did before launch was we actually expanded this to our community. So I did a whole product tester campaign. We had over 1,000 people apply to become product testers, but they also gave us lots of information about their skin and what they like in their skincare. And we plan on doing that again. And we're probably going to have about 60 people to test our products from start to finish. This involves them, we involve them with the process with our lab and all of the lab samples and getting to the final product. And we even involve them in packaging. So we're very community oriented that way. I am also expanding our team to grow our online digital presence. I actually just hired 4 content creators in-house to help me create content constantly for Instagram and TikTok, because it's of course really important for e-commerce to be online all the time. We're also working on securing a couple of retail partnerships with smaller retailers, and we may even be in one by the end of this year for holiday season. Lastly, we plan on hosting live events to connect with influencers, content creators, and our audience in person. The team is made up of me, Momita Sahu. I'm the founder and CEO. Ajay Patel is my business advisor. He is a serial entrepreneur who has multiple restaurants and hotels. And Ashna Gray is a big social media influencer. She has over 100,000 followers on TikTok, and she is our social media lead.
That's time.
Okay, great. I would love to wrap it up and just take any questions.
Thank you so much. We're going to start our Q&A session with our judges.
Good question. Hi, I'm Mike. Very good presentation. I want to thank you for giving us that information. I want to ask you, where is your source of production of your products?
It's actually in Texas, in Dallas. We have a lab that partners with, that creates products for a lot of brands that are in Sephora and Ulta, Whole Foods.
Very good, thank you.
What kind of science gets into making this product, and do you have any background in that kind of the skill set?
Yeah, sure. Great question. So I'm not personally, I don't have a cosmetics background. I have a business background, but our products are made by a cosmetic chemist. So like I said, we work with an actual lab. So they have cosmetic chemists who know all of the science behind this. I had done a lot of ingredient study on all of the Ayurvedic ingredients like tulsi and amla, and you can find a lot of clinically backed research online. So all of our ingredients are used at the clinical levels that they need to be used at to actually be effective on your skin. And so I worked with our cosmetic chemist to make sure that our products are as effective as possible, and that they are backed by science.
Okay, so definitely there's a need for this non-chemical based beauty products. But having said that, there is a lot what you said is what we've heard earlier. At least I've heard all of that, in terms of the need, and there are a lot of Ayurvedic cosmetic products out there in the market.
Mm-hmm.
So have you understood, okay, have you done some analysis of who are your competitors and what is your differentiation from them?
Yeah, totally. So there are some competitors. I would say in the market, there are probably like 7 to 10 pretty big players. Like I mentioned, Ranavat, Avrani, Sahajan, but they're all, number one, they have a more mature target audience. So our target audience is people who are just out of college, 23 to 33, and our price points are a lot lower than all of the other Ayurvedic brands. We also differentiate ourselves by saying that we are the fun Ayurvedic skincare brand. So all of our textures, the scents, the products, they're very fun. They make you excited to use them. They have jelly textures. They're also very nostalgic, and a lot of the other Ayurvedic brands don't have any sort of sensorial aspect to their products.
What's your current revenue source from?
Just from our website on zelaskin.com. And we do about, during our launch month, we had done about $7,000. And then since then, it's been $3,000 to $4,000 every month.
But that's okay. Thank you.
And that's with no ad spend or anything. So we haven't really invested in any paid marketing yet.
Hey, great job on the presentation. Love your product photography.
Thank you.
Question, so you accomplished, I mean, I think you made great progress without any paid influencers.
Mm-hmm.
But you've just hired 4. I'm not sure if I'm making the connection, like, those are your first 4. Are these full-time FTEs, or are they just contract content creators?
Yeah. So I didn't hire influencers. So all of the influencers that have posted for us, that we just sent them gifted products, and if they liked it, they posted. The people I hired for Zayla are just content creators. They don't really have big audiences, except for one of them. She has an audience, but she's not creating content for her page. It's just content for the Zayla page and educational content. So it's not from a perspective of, hey, I'm an influencer and I want you to buy this. It's just that they're creating content for our brand. And they have an understanding of the digital presence and TikTok trends and all of that.
One additional question, if I may. Do you think that in the next 12 to 24 months you're going to need a partnership with somebody with a medical background, a clinician, or an expert in this space? Because that's kind of what I've seen. There's usually a medical professional that's backing. That could be something that you're looking for.
So I see what you're saying. There are a lot of brands like that. Those are called more of like the clinical SkinCeuticals type of brands, where they're focusing on where dermatologists approved and all of that. You actually don't need to partner with a dermatologist or have that like medical backed partner. You can do trials and you can do those yourself through a third party. It's just a little bit expensive. So for example, to say that this is dermatologist tested, you would need to do RIPT testing, and all of this testing you can do with third parties. It's pretty expensive. It's like $5,000 per test, which is why I haven't been able to do it yet, but I can totally do that and do clinical trials as well to back up my claims.
It's time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being an advocate for Ayurveda and bringing this science to mainstream. Very excited to see
you. Thank you for your time.
At this time, the judges are going to take 5 minutes to score. As the judges are scoring, right after that, we're going to take a 15-minute break. Those who are joining us both virtually as well as in person.
For everyone who is joining us virtually, can you hear me? Kenyatta, I can see you. Can you nod if you hear me? Okay. I just want to let everybody know we're going to get started in just a few minutes. Thank you.
All right, everyone, we're just going to get started here in about 30 seconds or so, and we are going to change up the format a little bit. So the flow is just going to change a little bit. I think the judges all wanted to take an opportunity to give a little bit of feedback before Ram gets the opportunity to talk a little bit about TiE, and then we'll wrap up with the winner at that point. So with that, let's just give everyone another minute to get back, and then we'll just get started. All right, we'll just get started then. Do you judges have an order on how you want it to go, or should I just pick left to right?
That we had the presentation.
Oh yeah, perfect. That works. So I'll just open up to you.
All right. Hi, I'm Mike Skelton. I'll just give you a little feedback from RedX. And Uma, we want to thank you very much for the presentation. Very interesting concept. One of the things we want to do is also thank you for the samples that you brought today for us to share. Thank you. Very good. The judges kind of felt like one of the biggest issues that you're going to have is the last mile, getting products to the customers and the cost of all of doing that. So focusing more on that in terms of your business model, I think would be helpful. And also scalability in terms of bringing your business to the point where you can expand to other markets cost effectively. So I think those are the two biggest things. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And trading races.
That's right.
Was that the next? Okay. Kenyatta, where can you see and hear us, Kenyatta?
I can.
Fantastic. So, I want to start off. A couple of people mentioned, and I felt this way. Your passion and your passion and your excitement for what you're working on came through the Zoom. Like it was like you were right in front of us. So kudos on that. In terms of, it was interesting to me when one of the judges asked about, can this be expanded into other races? It wasn't a light bulb moment for you, which tells me that you thought about this. I think it would have been really awesome to see that in your growth plan in one of your last slides, right? So the rest of the room knows that that's something that is on the roadmap. In terms of an area of constructive, one thing that the judges all wanted to emphasize is, and maybe you've done this, but it didn't come through in the presentation, further testing in a inclusive social setting, right? And so I think you talked about the classroom, you talked about there's a roadmap for corporate, offering this, but a more inclusive social setting and seeing how that responds. Because, and I think you've acknowledged that it is an uncomfortable conversation or perhaps not an easy one, right? But how does that, because to me, I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to make it more, you want to get people more comfortable with this conversation, but I would be interested in seeing a focus group and seeing, is the opposite happening in a more diverse setting? So that was the only other thing that the group wanted to share. But great job.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and Hillary fam. Okay, so I want to say congratulations on your presentation. Was fabulous. We all loved it. Very tight. You presented everything very well. You did a lot of research. And who knew? I mean, it was an educational moment for me because I feel really dumb now because I didn't even think that adaptive clothing was a thing until now. So, it was an eye-opening moment for me, but I know you kind of talked about it just very briefly of the next steps or the next stage and where you see it going. And I think all the judges and I, we thought it would have been nice to hear a little bit more if you had plans to get into Banana Republics and the Gaps and all of that as an added added not benefit, but an added service, during point of sale. Because you're really wanting to be out there in the general market so that it's accessible and it's easy to select. I mean, that would have been a great next step or next stage of growth, in terms of supply chain. But anyway, that's all I have. But I think you did a phenomenal job. I love it. It's great.
Thank you so much.
Next we have Zyla.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So for Zyla, first of all, congratulations. I mean, there was everybody loved the presentation. There was a lot of good feedback in terms of the photography, the way your website is designed and all of that. So everybody loved it. It was quite nice. And in fact, there was also a comment that, beauty products need to look good. So it immediately catches everyone's attention. So that you got it right. So that was good. There is a need, definitely, like I was saying, there's a need in terms of having these non-chemical beauty products, not just with South Asian, but everybody started realizing that, there's a need there. So you've got all of that right. The only couple of feedback that came from the judges is, one is in terms of your experience of your core team, you have advisory, you have marketing, and you have now people from social media and all of that. There's definitely a need for having a beautician or dermatologist or that kind of thing, so that it just brings a nice science behind what you're doing.
Okay.
It puts accreditation on the quality of your products.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the next other was having the patent or something just makes you stand out in the market.
Okay.
So I think those were the only two comments that came from the judges. Otherwise, good job.
Great. Thank you so much.
Let me tell you, I will add one more thing. We would have loved to have seen the product. Bredex did a great job. They had the Picasso for us. So bribing the judges goes a long way.
Send them all to you. If I can get all of your addresses after this, I will definitely ship them out.
Put it in the chat right now.
She knows there are only 2 women here, so.
Hey, for everybody.
Actually, he was the first person who wanted to see that product. He was the first one.
You had me at cardamom, okay?
You can't eat it.
I know.
Don't eat it. They smell really yummy, but don't eat it.
So I wanted to give a quick, positive thing that I observed in the 4 pictures. You know how to actually market, so pretty much you can control the budget and how you can advertise or take the product to marketing. I believe you're actually using the social media, which is great. You're adapting to the new trends. So I really like the time you're spending in exploring the ways to get the product to the market. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're gonna have a quick some notes from comments from Ram, and then we'll announce the winner.
The presentation up later.
Okay.
Before Roshan comes up here and announces the winners, which I'm sure we're all anxious to hear. I just want to say a couple of words of thanks to everyone that's assembled here and online. I don't know how all are online, but my name is Ram Viswanathan. For those of you who may not be aware, I built and I bootstrapped, built and grew a bunch of enterprise software companies. They're under management now, but I primarily work with entrepreneurs, mentoring, coaching, investing in some of these startups that some of you saw today. And I help out as much as I can with an organization like TiE Dallas. That's a beautiful, fantastic organization for you to get to know, those of you who are new to it, and become familiar with and get involved in a number of ways. We are doing something interesting and something really beneficial to the community, we believe. I'll get to in a minute to talk about what we are all about. Before I do that, I want to make sure that maybe we can go through that first, and then I get to thanks. Just a couple of quick little slides about who we are, what we do. So TiE as an organization started in Silicon Valley some 25 years ago, and primarily to promote, encourage, and nurture entrepreneurship in all its flavors. And it has grown immensely over the years. And we have chapters now around the globe, around the country, around the globe, 40 odd chapters. We believe we are the largest entrepreneurial ecosystem in the world. And it's created a significant amount of wealth and really benefited a lot of communities around the world. And we have done some very interesting things here in Dallas also. This initiative to identify, nurture, promote women entrepreneurs started some 3-4 years ago within the TiE ecosystem, and this is the third year we're doing it here in Dallas. As Tina mentioned earlier, when we had it here the first time 3 years ago, she was one of the participants and was a winner and went on to represent Dallas at the global event. And last year we had the second year of the program, and Veena Somareddy was a winner. Again, she represented Dallas, and this year whoever is the winner is going to represent Dallas at the global event in Hyderabad in December. Great initiative, as you have seen, and really brings to light the power that is in this cohort, so to speak. We have other programs as well. We have the Young Entrepreneur Program, for which we had a similar kind of, we actually ran the 10th year of the initiative here in Dallas a few months ago, and we were the host of the global event also. It was a virtual event, and we were the host of that event just last month. And every year in each of these programs, we bring out winners that go on to win laurels at the global stage. So we're really very, very proud of that. We have the TiE University initiative, which, as the name suggests, caters to university students, identifying, nurturing, promoting, funding university students. Again, we've had some very significant successes there. I don't have time to go through all the details, but I've shown some statistics here on the slide here. Every year, on the TiE program that I talked about, we've graduated about 300 students all through our program, through our bootcamp program. In the TiE University, one of our winners 2 years ago went on to win at the global event, and then his company got acquired. So we had some very interesting results as part of these programs. Finally, we have the Angels program, and this is a good segue into talking about TiE as an organization. We have two main cohorts. One cohort is made up of entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs, corporate executives, investors that have been there, done that, and want to provide their experience and leverage their experience for the benefit of the community, to do some give back, in other words. And then there's another cohort that are emerging entrepreneurs that need some nurturing, need some help, need some coaching, funding. So that's how we really bring the two cohorts together through all these different programs and other events that go on all the time. So again, that's in a nutshell what organization is all about. When you become involved as a charter member or an associate member, not only do you get connected to the Dallas entrepreneurial ecosystem, you are instantly connected to the global ecosystem. So I strongly encourage you to find out more, and all of us are here available to ask any questions you might have. So this is the team, and I'll talk about how this is all evolving as we speak. In the last 3 years, we've done, I think, a fairly decent job in terms of building these programs up, creating awareness, and build the brand here in the Dallas market, as well as given visibility to the global ecosystem also. I think that's a good summary of the organization and what we are doing here in Dallas in particular. Let's get to what made this happen. Obviously, I want to start out by thanking and giving a round of applause for all the participants. as always, when I go to these events, I'm blown away by these presentations. Uma, Kenyata, Hillary, and Momita. Wonderful job. You covered the entire gamut of food, education, clothing, healthcare. So fundamental basic problems that we face. It's not another photo sharing app or something like that. So it's really remarkable that you're tackling real hard problems. So one of you or a couple of you are going to emerge winners, but each of you, I strongly encourage, pursue your ideas and dreams in as much of the same passion that you displayed today, and you'll find success. So amazing. So congratulations again. Thank you, judges, Satish, Mike, Rekha, Susan, and Shazad. Obviously, you are going to decide how these features turned out. And thank you very much for your time and your partnership and ongoing collaboration in advance. And Susan, thank you for the collaboration you have with the chamber. And Dawn is not done. Oh, there she's done. Thank you very much for making the facility available for us. It's a beautiful facility. I'm sure we're going to have more events happen here. So thank you all very much. Participants, those of you who have shown up here and online, next time we have this event, I want to see standing room only. I think we'll make it happen. You know, I was telling somebody else earlier, this last couple, 3 years, it's been very interesting. We went from all in person to all online to hybrid. Hybrid events are the most challenging to put things together, to get the in-person interaction and the online persons, but we're getting better at it. So as we move forward, we'll get it better and better. So thank you for all the participants. And by the way, and most importantly, the people that made this particular event happen. You know, this time, normally I'm in the middle of things and getting all set up and really getting worked up about how everything is going to come together. This time I have to say, I didn't do any of that. And I stood back and I didn't do anything much at all. I just wanted to come sit back, relax, enjoy, and that's exactly what I did. What made it happen, the team that made it happen is all here. They were sitting here that are that pulled everything together. Sonia, Harsh, and Roshan. Harsh is not here, but I'm hoping he's online, but I think he's traveling, right? But so this was a test for how everything is going to come together. I have to say, it came through with flying colors. So congratulations, guys. Thank you very much. And obviously, Tina is the leader of our women's program. She's the chair of the women's program. I wish she would have been here in person, but she couldn't be. She had to be in Bangalore. So she's the one who put all this together and planned it. So thank you very much. So thank you again. And one more round of applause for the team, guys. So a great display of teamwork and so what's possible. And I also want to take this opportunity to announce that I am winding up my term as president at the end of the year, and Roshan is going to be the new president of the organization, and Harsh is the new vice president. So after seeing what happened today, I can rest assured that it's in good hands. So keep it up and take it to the next level, guys. So with all that said, I'm going to hand it over to Roshan and have him announce the winners. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Ram. Thank you. I actually don't know which way to face, so I'm going to face the camera. As someone that has done many pitches and pitched myself and acted as a judge, I can say that this was a very interesting, I guess deliberation is the right word. I'm glad we had 5 and not 6. There's a really neat little tool that they were using, and it was very, very close between effectively, I'll call the 2 winners, but we can only have 1. And so I want to kind of talk through, and you guys have made my life easier by providing comments. I don't have to do that, which is what I was originally planning on doing. So I'll just jump right into it and announce the top two was equability and equity races. And we took a little extra time because there was a lot of back and forth on in the discussion room. The winner is equability, so congratulations. But I can tell there was a very, very close, heated discussion in the room. So congratulations to everyone. As Tina opened with, the process is such that the global semifinals will be held in December. Equability will be representing Dallas, TiE Dallas, across 39 other chapters. And then the winner of the semifinals will go to the finals for the opportunity to win $100,000. So congratulations and thanks to everyone for coming out, for joining online, especially the presenters. Congratulations. It was, we had a great time doing it. So thanks again. Thank you.
Let's have the participants say.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go in the same order. Uba, if you want to come up, and we'll just kind of walk through if there's any last comments from the presenters, and we'll wrap up from there. Thanks.
First of all, I would like to thank you all. This was probably, my first presentation. So I was very nervous, very anxious through the night yesterday and through the last entire week. So it was a good practice, and I know where to plug in and think through a little bit more. And Tina, the way she opened it today, I think it was very encouraging to build on your passion and then keep going. So thank you.
Good job.
Hello, just wanted to say thank you guys again for the opportunity. I consider basically every pitch competition an opportunity to get better and get more clear in my vision and my goal for my company. So feedback is always a gift, and you guys have given me that today. So thank you so much.
Perfect. I really wanted to say thank you so much for your feedback, your questions. I feel like that always makes pitches stronger. And thank you to the rest of the presenters. I feel like I always leave these events really inspired by what other people are doing. So I appreciate the community, love learning about your products, and thank you so much.
Congratulations, Hillary. I also learned so much from you. So yeah, I'm so happy for you. And thank you to all the judges and TiE for putting this together. This was also my first time ever pitching, and you can't tell, but I'm literally in a hotel room. It's like wedding season right now. So I'm in the middle of a wedding. That's why it's all blurry in the back. So I do appreciate you guys doing this virtually for us as well. And I appreciate all of the feedback. First time pitching, so I'm definitely going to take a lot of that feedback in and improve my pitch. Thank you guys so much.
I'm sure everyone has perfect skin at the wedding. We really are so empowered today, seeing all of you guys come in front of us and pitch and just being so brave. And we look forward to all your success, because that's all I see in the future for all of you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you to the audience. Thank you to the judges. Thank you to the team. Thank you to Tina. And thank you to Dawn for this wonderful location for us to be able to be together today. All right. Well,
Thank you. That's it. It's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.